bonjour, bienvenidos, benvenuti, welcome to the Music Polyglot channel. Today we are going to have a look at Together by Beabadoobee. Great song by a great artist. But if you, my friend, if you are a professional player or a very advanced guitarist, that was all you needed to know, so you can go get him, Tiger. For the rest of us, we'll break everything down in a close-up. Okay, so the first thing we need to look at is the tuning. From low to high, you tuned as D, A, E, F sharp, A, and D. You also need a capo, and that capo needs to go on fret 1. Cool. Now, in most cases when you have a capo, you refer to everything in terms of the capo. So if I say like fret 1, I would mean actually fret 2, right? But always in reference to the capo. For this particular song, is actually not as useful to do that. So I'm just going to refer to the frets for what they actually are, regardless of the capo. Okay, so when I say fret 12, you know that I'll be talking about that one. Okay, so as if the capo wasn't there. So we are going to have a look at the verse first. Let me play it for you once so that you can hear what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you could probably tell, there were 3 chords in that verse. Chord number 1, you're going to need fingers 2, 3, and 4. So that's your middle ring and finger on fret 9. That's the last dot before your double dots. And you should be on strings 4, 5, and 6. All 3 fingers on the same fret. So that's the first chord. It's actually a B chord with a suspended second, a B sus2. Right. And we play 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, it's 6 times, all downstrokes. The best way to go about counting this is to think 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then you simply take off finger 3, which is your middle finger. You take it off, so you're going to have it. You're going to have that string open to the capo, right? So it's going to be on fret 1. So okay, in terms of the rhythm, the best way to think about this is to think 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool. You are going to repeat this back and forward from the first chord, which is the B sus2, to the second chord, which is a D sharp minus 7. You're going to repeat that 3 times, and then you come down to chord number 3. So you have a barre on fret 4, and with your pinky, you fret the 4th string on your 6th fret. Okay, so you have 4, 4, that's the 6th and the 5th, and fret 6 on the 4th string, and you only want to play those bottom 3 strings. By the way, on all 3 chords, you're only playing the bottom 3 strings. So one more time, that slowly. That was the first time. 2, 2, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and the last time 2, and 1, and 2, and now down to this 3rd chord, F sharp. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you could see on that F sharp, the last chord, all you do is strum downwards and play every 8th note or quaver in the bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so those are the verses. Let's have a look at the choruses now. Wow, it really has started pouring with rain. I bet you can hear that, but we'll go on anyway. So for the chorus, you need to switch on your gain, your distortion, if you're using a pedal, your amp, whatever. Let me play this for you once so that you can see what's going on. Cool. Let's have a look at the chords first. Again, you have this chord that has all fingers on the same fret, but now you are on fret 13, which is one fret further up from your double dots. So middle, ring, and pinky on the bottom 3 strings. That's chord number 1. Then you take the exact same shape to fret 8. And then the exact same shape one more time to fret 9. Okay, so far so good. And final chord, 4th and final chord in the choruses is that F sharp major, which is your barre on fret 4 and the pinky on fret 6 of your 4th string. Again, only the bottom 3 strings are played. Now let's talk about the rhythm. Remember that we're counting everything in quavers or 8th notes, which means that out of our 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are going to be playing also the notes in between our beats. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The best way to really get your head around these rhythms is to count them. So we're going to start on the first chord, fret 13, and the way this is counted is 1 and 3 and. Okay, so one more time, 1 and 3 and. Okay. You can repeat that a few times so that it sounds familiar, so almost until you learn it off by heart. So. Okay, 1 and 3 and. And then you drop to fret 8 as we said, and you only have 2 strokes here, and. So far you have this, 1 and 3 and. And then you go up a fret, and 3 and 4. And you have 4 more strokes there. Everything is a downstroke, remember that. So you have 1 and 3 and 3 and 4. One more time. And then you drop to the F sharp major, on which you just play all the downstrokes for 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool. I really do suggest you learn to count, or you make the effort to count. It might seem a bit laborious at the beginning, but it is going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Not only for this song, it's actually going to take you less time to learn to count it than to just try and play it by trial and error, but also it's a skill that you can use for every song that you learn in the future. It's going to save you hours and hours and hours. I can guarantee you that. Let's move on to the second part of the second chorus. Cool, so after the first chorus, we go straight back to the verse. That is a double verse, and then we get the chorus again. But this second chorus actually has a second part. Let me play it for you so you can hear what it sounds like. So just the second part goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so what's happening there? The rhythm is exactly the same as before. Namely, we have 1 and 3 and 3 and 4. Just like we did in the first part, except that the changes happen in different places. First, we have that chord, which is D sharp at 9 on fret 13, right? All 3 fingers in the same fret. You only go 1 and then you drop 2 frets to the 11th fret. Okay, so 1 and there you have and 3 and, so 3 strokes, 1 and 3 and then you drop 2 more frets to the dot, right? So that's the B sus 2, and then you stay there for the remainder of that bar and the next. So okay, so slowly 1 and 3 and 3 and 4. Okay, one last time. and then you drop to the F sharp major like before, and you play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that whole sequence is repeated twice. And then there's that transition bit with the Okay, as you can see, that just goes back and forward between two chords. That B sus2, which is fret 9, right? All three in fret 9. And we're just playing all downstrokes for a whole bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we drop to chord number 2, which is the F sharp major, which is the one with your barre on the 4th fret and the pinky on the 6th fret of the 4th string. And again, just one full bar of playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and all as downstrokes. And you go back and forward 4 times, right? 1, 2, except that on the 4th time, you don't go down to the F sharp major. The sequence ends on that 4th repetition of the B sus2. And then you will either go back to a verse, or in the case of the 3rd chorus, you'll go back to that bass bridge, that little bossa nova thing that I'll actually show you in detail now. So we have that bridge, right? That is really keyboards and bass, where the bass goes. Right? That's what it does. Now, if you're playing in a band or if you're playing along to the record, you don't need to play this part because the bass plays this part and there's some keyboards and some lovely vocals, etc., etc. But if you're playing on your own, you might want to know what the bass line is so that you can play, you can replicate it, you can sing on top. So, really simple. Open strings, and we are playing the 6th and the 5th strings only. And you go 1 and 3 and 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 1 and 3, 4. Okay, I'll slow it down a bit more. So 1, 2 and 3 on the 5th, and then back and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1 on the 6th, 5th, back to the 6th, 5th. That's the pattern. That is also played 4 times before you go back to the that we've looked at before, which actually brings us down to the outro. Let me show you that last rhythmic break at the very end, 2 bars that really end the song, which is actually absolutely great. And that goes easy, right? Twice on the 13th fret, twice on the 8th, twice on the 9th, and then once on the F sharp major, which is the barre with the pinky on the 6th fret of the 4th string. Just once, so. How's that? The thing that you're going to have to practice is going from the that transition into the last. We said it happens 4 times, remember? So this is 3, this is the 4th, and remember that on the 4th time, you don't go back down to the F sharp anymore, you stay on that B sus2. So there we have it. Great tune by a great artist. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, click on that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so that YouTube notifies you when more videos come up. If you would like to see some tabs and sheet music for this song, all that and a lot more is available to all my Patreons on my Patreon page. Link in the description below. And finally, if you'd like a free one-on-one video call lesson on this song, you can contact me through my website, to which I'll leave you a link in the description below as well. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima, arrivederci, au revoir.